My name is Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back to the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. I'm excited to be with you guys here today. It's getting to the end of the year. It's almost Christmas time. It's only about a couple weeks away, and the first of the year is coming right around the corner. And you know what that means? All the New Year's resolutioners will be piling into all the gyms. They will be signing up for memberships, most likely at your local big box gym, your Planet Fitness, something like that. Some of them are going to reach their goals and a lot of them aren't. And it's just heartbreaking being in the fitness industry and being a fitness and strength enthusiast almost half of my life now, actually over half of my life now. And so I thought it was a great idea to kind of go through, because this is a time of year where it's top of mind, right? So this podcast is called Why People Fail in Fitness. And I'm going to start by just sharing some statistics, right? So this is actually up higher. I've made a podcast like this before. I believe it was like 2 years ago now. And I believe the statistic is up from the last time I looked at it. I'd have to go back and look at the podcast, but 90% of people give up on their fitness goals within 90 days. And most of them are actually less than that. Most of them are within the first 30 days, and sometimes even the first week. So they go into a gym because they're all riled up about changing their fitness and their health and their life, and they want to just be better for the next year coming up, right? Everybody's got these thoughts in their mind like, hey, I'm going to make 2025 my best year yet. I'm going to be the healthiest I've ever been. Don't get me wrong. I have those same goals as well. And I'm not going to, sit here and sugarcoat it. I've failed on many of my fitness goals that I've had for the next coming up year. But one thing that's always stayed consistent is that I actually go to the gym. And I know a lot of people that just don't. They end up signing a year contract at one of these big box gyms. They go for about a week, maybe 3 months, and they stop going. And I'm going to share with you guys why I believe that is. And I bet you, if you found other gym owners or fitness enthusiasts, they would tell you something really similar to this. So, the 4 main reasons why somebody would fail in their fitness is, the first one is lack of a clear goal, right? No action plan is your second one. Not knowing how to measure your progress, and then not having the accountability. Okay, so those are the 4 ones, and we're going to break this down and go into each one and kind of talk a little bit more about that. And I get it. There's lots of common struggles that people have, me included. When I talk to you guys about this, or when I talk to the podcast and people listen to it, I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you guys because I'm on the same exact plane as this. And it actually really, really resonates with me, and it actually shined a light on me as soon as I opened up a gym, which is crazy, right? One of my good friends who owns a gym, I told him, hey, I was thinking about opening a gym, and he knew how passionate I was about lifting heavy weights and being fit and going to the gym every day, or going to the gym at least 3-4 times a day or per week. Going to the gym 3 or 4 times a day, that would be quite brutal on your body and very unnecessary. But anyway, he said to me, hey, the fastest way to lose your fitness and your passion for fitness? I was like, what's that? He's like, open a gym. And I said, I don't trust you. I don't believe you. I'm going to open a gym anyway because I had it set in my mind, and my wife and I really wanted to do it. And that person could not have been more correct. It's been a struggle to lift in our gym. It's been a struggle to stay up on our fitness. And I literally work inside of the gym every single day, right? So I get it. So like I said, I'm not talking at you guys and putting you guys down. I'm literally just sharing things that I see and that are in my life as well. And my wife, Megan, would attest to all this as well. We used to be very passionate about going to the gym, and there's a lot of times where I'm like, I think I could just skip today. So again, we're on the same page, right? So common struggles are really not knowing what to do. I see people all the time. They walk into the gym, they sign up for a gym, and you can see them, right? They just signed up at the gym. They've got their clothes and their shoes and their water bottle and their backpack, and they walk onto the gym floor and they go, oh crap, now what do? I guess I'll just start doing some bicep curls, or I'm going to do this weird machine that I really don't know what it does, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this, and oh wait, I forgot I'm supposed to do some cardio, so I'm going to go back and do the elliptical or the treadmill or whatever, and then you see the next person, they come in the next day or 2 days later, and you can see that same look on their face, and they're just kind of discouraged. And, maybe they did a little research, because you're like, hey, that's not me. I do my research. I've got a program. And it's like, cool. Okay, you went online and you downloaded this program from XYZ website, and, sure, it's better than absolutely nothing. But why are you doing that? Why are you doing XYZ exercise, or why are you going this many days? Or most programs are very cookie cutterish, and I found a lot of them are just way too complicated. You don't need to be doing all this stuff. Men's Fitness used to come out with these, and I don't know if they still do because I don't really read their stuff anymore, but they used to have these super complex workouts, like day one, you're going to do 1A workout. Okay, cool. And then day two, you're going to do 1B or B workout. And then next week, you're going to do something else and something else. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, you're making it way too complicated. And there's no way to really measure your success on these things. Like, there's no way to say, hey, I'm lifting more than I was last week. I'm able to go longer on XYZ exercise, and that's the basic simple stuff of it, right? You don't see any complex workouts in our gym or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going on a rant here because I'm very passionate about it, as you can see. Staying away from the exercises that give you the most bang for your buck, right? That's another common pitfall, common struggle of people. They shy away from barbell movements, and they shy away from this because I don't really want to get hurt. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't want to look like a noob in the gym. I don't want to be that person that is on gym fails or whatever. And then the other one I see, or the other two, I should say, is program hopping, where they go from program to program to program. These are the people that did some research. They did this program for maybe a month, and they're like, oh, that was cool. I'm going to do something else. I see it, people coming to our gym too. They come to our gym and they're like, oh man, I've tried everything under the sun. It just doesn't work for me. And I'm going to give you guys a shot for a month. And I'm like, well, guess what? We're probably not going to work for you either if you're only going to give us a month. Fitness is, and this is my last one that I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go into these 4 reasons why people fail, but not having a long-term perspective on your fitness. This happens time and time again. I think it really comes down to, one, people don't want to be committed for a long time. Like, they just have this weird commitment thing. And maybe that comes from the big box gyms and all the gyms that they've done in the past, or maybe the yoga studio that they signed a year contract with. And, something in them just doesn't want to have that commitment. And honestly, I think it's maybe because they've been pushed into having contracts and commitments like that. And they're really not like, I'm going to make this my year and I'm actually going to do what I say I'm going to do. That's a very hard thing to wrap your brain around, right? But hey, I said I'm going to do this year and I'm going to do it. That's it. There's no other things. And so when somebody comes into our gym and I get them in our, in the seat in the office, and I go through our NSI process, our no sweat intro process, and I'm like, okay, we'll call him John just because you've told me all this. This is what you want to do. These are your, your injuries, and this is what you've tried in the past. Cool. I can help you. I've done this with over 2,000 other people. You're not really much different. Now, you might have, individualized things. Absolutely. That's why we do the no sweat intro, because we want to have it an individualized, customized program to you. But the general basic workouts like squatting, benching, overhead pressing, deadlifting, accessories, stuff like that, some cardio, all that stuff, it works for everybody. It works for everybody. So I say, hey, John, you tell me you want to do XYZ goal. We've gone over your nutrition. We've gone over your schedule. We've gone over if you like to do classes or one-on-one, or semi-private, or maybe you need nutrition. You've told me you want these things. I've shown you, here's the program to get there. So it's coming in 2 to 3 days a week, lifting weights, sleeping 7 to 10 hours, or sleeping 7 to 8 hours, maybe even 9, depending on how old you are and all that type of stuff, and how hard you're working out, and what other kind of stressors are in your life, and then eat clean and healthy 90% of the time. That's your RX. That's your recommendation. Now, it could be in a one-on-one setting. It could be in a semi-private setting. It could be in a group class setting. And that's really what it all boils down to, right? And I say, hey, John, here's the price. And I'm not going to lie. If you go to Planet Fitness, you can get access to equipment. I always say Planet Fitness because that's just the biggest one around my area, and everybody talks about, or everybody knows about that one, is purple and yellow. Probably the most ugliest colors put together. I don't know. That's just me. But here nor there, I say Planet Fitness just because it is what it is. They go to Planet Fitness, they go to a big box gym, and they get access for $25 to $50 a month, depending on where they're going. And that's a price point where they're like, yeah, I'm willing to pay that. 1, because they don't want commitment. And 2, because I think potentially, like I said, they just aren't in their headspace of like, this is going to be me. I'm going to change. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm going to pay a coach to help me get there. Because when you pay for coaching, you're paying for clarity and speed, right? We're going to get you there as fast as possible with the least amount of risk of injury. And if you don't prioritize these types of things and put it on your calendar, it's not going to happen eventually. It just is what it is. Like, my wife has got a Planet Fitness membership. I don't think she's gone in several months. Now, she works in a gym, and she definitely works out at our gym with us sometimes, but she does not go to that gym. And so they're just collecting dollars and nothing ever is happening. So anyway, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go back into these things here in a little bit. So lack of clear, attainable goals. So again, when I see this coming into our no sweat intro process, or even into our goal review process for you people that aren't members of ours or new members, every 90 days, we take our clients through what we call a goal review session, right? And really all it is saying, hey, John, you've been doing great in our classes, or you've been doing great in XYZ. It's 90 days from now. Maybe your goals have changed. Maybe I just want to know how you're doing. I just want to check in with you. I want to make sure that you're solid. I want to make sure that, maybe this is a good time for us to keep you accountable. We can look at your attendance history and be like, hey, John, you signed up for 3 days a week, but, you've only been coming for 1 or 2 of those sessions a week. Now, is it because you're too busy, or is it because you're falling off? Like, what's the deal? Maybe you're too busy right now, and we actually need to downgrade your membership from 3 times a week to 2 times a week. Just did this with one of our clients the other day. He was getting really, really into his cycling, and he was like, I just can't handle the fatigue right now, and it doesn't make sense for me to pay for 3 days a week. It only makes sense for me to pay 2. Cool, great. John, we can take you down to 2. Once you get acclimated, we'll pop you back up to 3. Sound good? Awesome, yeah. Anyway, going into these sessions, the NSI and the goal review, we ask the client, hey, John, what goals do you have? And I get this all the time. Well, I want to just lose 20 pounds, or I don't really have any weight goals. Like, I don't really care about lifting more weights, or I just want general fitness. And that's the thing, right? You have to have some type of obtainable, what we call SMART goals. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? So an example for that was, hey, I'd like to bench press my body weight in 6 months or whatever, versus I just want to get stronger. Cool. What does stronger mean? Do you want to be a world champion bench presser? Do you want to just be able to bench press your body weight? Do you even care about that? Maybe it's, I want to have a 6-pack by summer, or whatever your goal is. But I get this all the time. I just want to lose 20 pounds. I just want to lose 20 pounds. That doesn't mean anything. It's a very, what we call a surface level goal. Me and my crew and our team, we really try to, what we call, peel the onion back. Okay, John, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? What does 20 pounds, being down 20 pounds, actually do for you? Other than maybe lower your blood pressure, help you feel a little bit more energetic, and that type of stuff. But again, if you had a specific reason why 20 pounds was the actual goal, then we would have something to work with. But I think people just don't know how to really set a goal. I don't remember ever learning about that in school. And I've only learned it through my process with fitness. I've said, hey, I want to deadlift X amount of pounds by X time. By this competition, I want to be able to do that. Now, do I always get there? No, but I've definitely made gains towards that. Sometimes I make the goal, sometimes I don't. And that's okay. But I have a goal, and that keeps me going to the gym. It keeps me pushing myself, and it keeps my fitness level always at the next level, right? You don't just if you just go to, and I hear this all the time again, I'm going to go on a rant about, Pilates and yoga and these, what we call strength gyms, right? Quotes, big quotes, strength gyms. I go by all these gyms and I see, Fit Body Boot Camp and Burn Boot Camp and XYZ Camp and F45, and they go strength training. And I'm like, it's not really strength training. If you do the same weights for the same amount of reps every single week, you're really not strength training. You're just gaining muscle to a certain spot, and then you're going to plateau off those. So when you come to see us, just think about it a little bit. Write down one clear goal that you can achieve, right? Make sure it's achievable. And even if it's not necessarily achievable, I had a really big goal of deadlifting 705 last year at a competition, and I came pretty close. I was about 680, but I broke my foot halfway in between my training cycle. So I don't know if I could have got there or not. And I haven't really pursued the goal at this moment. I've been pursuing other goals. The next reason why people fail in their fitness is they don't have an action plan, right? So it's like, I say this all the time. If you're trying to go to New York from Oregon, from Bend, and you just started driving east, what's the likelihood you're actually going to end up in New York City without any type of watching signs or having a road map or anything like that? Probably next to zero. You might end up in Florida. You might end up in Canada. You might end up in Washington, D.C. Nobody knows where you're going to end up, and you don't either. So having something written down, or having that, at least that somebody knows, and this is where a coach plays a huge role in that, right? They're going to come over. They're going to make sure that you're solid. They're going to help you build this plan, and they're going to help you keep on the goal, right? And that's why we do the goal reviews. And then structuring your workouts around what you need to do to make sure that you get to your goals. That's a huge thing. So like I said, when you see new people walking in the gym and it's an access gym, they either have some generic cookie cutter plan that they downloaded off the internet that's not customized to their goals at all, or they just don't know what to do. And that's exactly what we do, right? So, an example of having an action plan is, hey, I want to run a 5K. So I'm going to put a 12-week training plan together with incremental improvements. So maybe it's like, hey, I start running XYZ miles or time frame per day or whatever it is, or per week. And then eventually, if you keep on progressing there, you'll get there. I want to bench press, 225 pounds. Cool. You can't, maybe you can. I don't know how strong you are, but you can't just walk up to the barbell, load 225 on there and never have done it before and be like, yep, I'm going to do this today. Now, you can, but that doesn't mean you're actually going to get it. No. And you actually probably were going to hurt yourself. So, that's why we cater to these people, and we make sure that you have the plan, and we help you, implement that plan. All right, guys, I'm going to dive in. Before I dive into my next point, I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about Strength Warehouse a little bit. If you're struggling to create a plan or don't know where to start, we've got your back. Every member at Strength Warehouse begins with a free, no-sweat intro, about a 20 to 30-minute consultation where we talk about your goals and design a plan that's tailored to you. We specialize in strength training and conditioning. We do personal training, group classes, semi-private classes, nutrition, all focused on getting you the results you want. So if you're tired of spinning the wheels, go visit us at www.bendstrengthwarehouse.com and schedule your free no-sweat intro today. All right, guys, back to the podcast. Going right into my third point is not measuring your progress. Again, this is another one of those reasons why people fail, because they're like, hey, I thought I had this goal of losing 20 pounds. The only thing I'm looking at is the scale, right? The scale is a liar, first of all. It doesn't tell you the whole story. It's only one metric, and it should not be the most important metric. I think a lot of women are very concerned about their weight. I hear it all the time when they come into the gym. I want to get back into my college clothes or my high school clothes. And the first thing I say is, well, why? Why do you want that? I don't know if anybody really wants that, at least for you. Most men are very attracted to women that are physically fit, not necessarily like this skinny high school weight, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, cool. You want to get back into your high school weight or your college weight or whatever. Cool. So that's their goal. I want to lose 20 pounds, and they just start going into the gym. They measure their weight and they're like, I'm not losing any weight. So then they starve themselves, or then they just continuously do cardio. And cardio is not the best, most efficient way to lose weight. Actually, weight training is building muscle, burns fat faster than cardio, and that's proven. It's been proven for a long time, and we still get people, no, I need to do more cardio. Nope, you need to progressively overload your muscles so they get stronger, so you burn more calories all day long and all night long while you sleep. You have less fat on your body, and you work better as a human being, right? So again, not measuring the progress, so they don't know how to measure their progress, right? And so at Strength Warehouse, we measure your progress in multiple different ways. So we measure your progress in, hey, what did you do lifting-wise when you first came? We track it. Then we track it again. Hey, what are you lifting now? Through what we call personal records, or through leaderboards, or just asking you, hey, what did you do? Okay, cool. What'd you do here? What'd you do here? Awesome. And then we put you on our body scanner, which tells you a much more in-depth program, or gives you a much better idea of where you are, right? So it measures weight, it measures body fat, it measures muscle mass, it measures water, how much water you have in your system, and then it gives you an idea of each limb. So it'll say how much muscle and fat you have on your trunk, how much muscle and fat you have on your legs, how much muscle and fat you have on your arms, and you can see if there's a discrepancy. So I've had several knee issues, and I haven't been able to really hit my legs for a long time. So there's a pretty decent discrepancy now between my legs and my upper body, which really sucks, but I'm working on it, and I know that it's there. We also measure you through, some different subjective things, being like, hey, John, how are you feeling? How's your energy? How's your clothes fitting? When you go pick up your kids, are they lighter than they used to be because you're stronger? When you're on your bike, is your power output better? Most cyclists, they like to track their power outputs, or their endurance. Hey, so-and-so, when you went and did your 5K, how did it feel? We've got a lot of clients that do some different like Spartans and Ironmans and stuff like that. And one of them just the other day, he started strength training with us, and he had this intentional, hey, I'm gonna do the big, I think it's a 50K Spartan, which is like a massive amount of stuff, right? And which we're going to have him on the podcast here shortly and talk about it. But he's like, I never felt stronger in my running, and I never felt stronger in all the obstacles. So using all those types of things, hey, we can take pictures. We can see if your strength's gone up. We can use, improved blood markers, reduced pain, reduced blood pressure, all this types of stuff. We use these as tools to measure your progress. So just something that we do that really shows you guys, hey, what you're doing is working, and sticking with it, right? That brings me to my last one, which is really not having anybody to hold you accountable. So like I said, when I go through our goal reviews, I can say, hey, John, you signed up for 3 sessions a week, but you're only making 1 to 2. Okay, cool. What's going on in life? Is this, do I need to coach you right now and be like, hey, you need to make this a priority. You told me how much you wanted to make this a priority. You told me 2025 was going to be your year. And now you're falling off the wagon, and I'm here to help guide you back onto the tracks, right? Or is it, like I said, he was just super busy doing other things, and he still wanted obviously still wanted the strength training and stuff like that, because that's part of his goals. Cool. Now we know where you are, and we're keeping you accountable, but we're also making sure. Maybe I had another lady that came in, and she's like, I'm not seeing results on 1 day a week. Yeah, okay, I could see that. You're not seeing results fast enough. Now, you're going to have results because you're doing more than you were, and you're intentionally strength training 1 day a week, so you're going to have results. Just takes a little bit longer. I think at this point that you should go up to 2 or 3 days a week, because that's going to supercharge your results, given what you've been doing right now. So accountability, I hate this word because everybody wants accountability until they actually get accountability. And they're like, no, I get this all the time. I'm just so busy. I just need to cancel my membership because I just haven't been able to get there. And I'm like, hey, this is a coaching moment. You told me you're going to do this in our NSI. I said, hey, what's going to keep you from being successful with your goals? And you're like, 6 months into this, I like to switch programs. I get bored. And so right at 6 months, I see you start to fall off. And I go, hey, so-and-so, remember when you told me you get bored and you like to fall off after 6 months? And well, here we are. And then you come back with, actually, no, it's not that. It's actually just I'm super busy and finances are kind of tight. And I'm like, I can see the excuse train starting to start up, right? Choo, 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 choo. All the excuses come out. And then hopefully, we can help you get back on track. That sometimes, when you guys are telling me this stuff, I don't push back on it. I'll push a little bit, but once you start rolling out with all the excuses, I'll give you a couple more. Hey, you said you're going to do this. And then I just say, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, accountability comes from inside you, and I'm only here to help bring that out. But if you're not letting me, then that's all I can do for you. I'll keep bugging you. I'll keep having you on your emails. I'll keep texting you. But at the end of the day, I can take you, the horse to water. Can't make it drink, unfortunately. I can lead you to the gym. I can sign you up for memberships, but you got to come. So I think the biggest thing with accountability is, again, that long-term perspective on your fitness. So everybody needs accountability here and there, right? You have the ability to keep yourself accountable in your own brain. You have that voice that says, hey, Nate, I need to make it to the gym today. I'm kind of busy. It's hard. It's snowing outside. It is actually snowing outside right now. It's XYZ. It's cold. I'm hungry, whatever. You can win every single battle with your brain. You just got to say, hey, no, I'm doing this. I said I was going to do it. And that's what we do. So, when you start going to a gym or you start a fitness routine, you're highly motivated, right? You've wanted something for a while. You've thought about it for a while. You've come into our gym. You've sat down with me. You've done the no sweat intro. You've paid your dues, and now you're ready to go and you're motivated. Motivation is very fleeting. It doesn't stay with you forever, right? I'm not motivated to go in today and squat heavy weight, but I'm going to. Right after this podcast, I'm going to shut the computer down. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to drive through the snow. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to work out. What happens is you start with motivation, and you have to have that long-term mindset perspective, and you have to shift your motivation into being consistent and being dedicated. Those two words replace accountability and being motivated. If you are determined and you are dedicated and you are consistent, you will reach the goal eventually, right? And that's what we try to instill in all of our members as they're coming in through our what we call our 90-day journey. So, okay, cool. You started motivated. We're keeping you accountable every night for the 90 days. But after that, it has to start to switch to dedication and consistency. And that's why we have a thriving gym business, because we can help people do that. And we actually get people to their goals and far past what they said they wanted to originally do. All right, guys. Well, I got to wrap this up. So, again, the four main points here I wanted to come across is the reasons why people do not get to their goals and they fail on their fitness and they stop going to gyms and then they sign up for a year contract, which we don't have, by the way. And they just do this cyclical thing. Every single January, you see the same people signing up. They stop coming after a month or 2 or 3. Maybe they go 6 months this year and they fall off because they don't have the clear goal. They don't know how to set the goals. They don't have the action plan. They're not measuring the correct things to measure their progress. and they don't have anybody to help them transition from accountability and motivated to determined, dedicated, and consistent, right? So that's the main things I want to, help you guys take something away from that, right? Let us help you set clear goals. Let us show you how to set clear goals. Let us show you and help you keep on track to the plan, the action plan to get you to the goals. Let's help you measure the correct things, and let's help you transition from I'm motivated, I need accountability, to I'm dedicated and I'm going to stay consistent. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. And just remember one thing, you're capable of so much more than you ever think that you could do. Just remember that, okay? All right, guys, I will not see you until I think the first of the year. I'm going to take a couple weeks off for the holidays, and I'll be back on my third season in January. So hope to see you guys next year, and have a great day. Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.